YouTube friends. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I am so excited to try and show up here a little more often. Listen, I want you to know something that's true. If you love to scrapbook, if you love to tell personal stories in a creative way, in any format and in any style, you don't need more time. And you don't need more ideas. I really, truly believe that. You have that capacity within you. You're an amazing human being. You can make time and you have endless ideas that stem from your life and your pictures. What you actually need is a community. You need friends who are like-minded and will hold you accountable and will support you in your efforts to tell more personal stories. Okay? You also need a coach. You need a story coach. I am your story coach. I want to be your story coach. So I'm going to show up here and I'm going to just give you little sneak peeks of stuff that is happening in my membership called Live Your Story. Because that's exactly what we provide, is that amazing sense of connection with a big group of people that come from so many different countries and that love what you love and that will champion your efforts. Okay? So what I'm going to share with you today is one of our seasonal projects. One of the super cool things about Live Your Story is that it's set up by seasons and by months. So winter, spring, summer, fall. We have a book that we read together, we have a quote that we memorize, and we have a project, kind of a bigger project that we adapt to ourselves and then compile, alongside each other. So I'm sharing with you today the project that we created this past winter in 2023. And it's a project, it's a format for telling stories that I love. I call it extended story. It is basically a traditional 12 by 12 page with lots of layers on top. So I'm just inviting you to see with me. I'm going to walk you through an extended story that I created so you can see how awesome it is. But before you look at it, I want you to know something about this project. I didn't do it on a Saturday afternoon. That's not possible, okay? I started it months ago. As part of my digital workflow, I set up an album on my phone with the intention that this project was something I wanted to work on, right? And then I started moving photos to that little album that I knew I might want to consider including, okay? And then I just, in short spurts of energy and chunks of time, I gathered what I needed and I started the process and I did it together with my friends and Live Your Story. So you need to banish this idea that you're waiting for some, big, awesome chunk of time, and that when you have that time, you're going to be able to start and finish the kind of story that you're yearning to tell, because you're not going to be able to do that. And that's why I need you to come be a part of Live Your Story so I can help you, so I can teach you the processes and the planning and the principles that will guide you and help you do what you want to do and do something with some of your pictures. Get yourself signed up for Live Your Story. The link is below this video. Okay, enjoy my extended story. Here you go. Hey guys, so this is my Us album for Taft. This is Taft Volume 1. And I'm gonna walk you through my completed, yay, extended story that documents his love of Harry Potter. So the very first layer is a 6x6 protector. This is a postcard that came from a collection he has. Just a brief, Wikipedia style introduction to the books, the first one, really, the Harry Potter book. And then you turn that over and I've got just a product label or product, something that came attached to something we bought, and it's secured with a brad, and you can swivel that up, kind of interactive, is Taft's favorite quote. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. So I love the way that works. And then I love to include an enlarged photo really close to the beginning of an extended story. Honestly, it's usually the first page, but I just love this little piece on this story. But here's my enlarged 8x10 image of Taft with the sticker letters, The Boy Who Loved. Not the boy who lived, but the boy who loved Harry Potter. And this is a Becky Higgins 8x10 protector. On the back of that page then is where we have the most current photos that some of them that we took when we were in Florida at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then here's really kind of the story, where they announced this park back in 2007. I think it was finished in 2009. Taft wanted to visit it with all of his heart. He waited for 13 years before we were able to make that happen for him. So I just point out here that seeing you in your Ravenclaw robe, sipping butterbeer outside the leaky cauldron, is the epitome of a dream come true, at least for this mom. Thanks for your patience. And I do have a couple stickers that I purchased online. When they came, I was honestly a little underwhelmed, so I won't tell you who made those stickers. But anyway, on the back, I want to point out this. This is a 6x12 flip flap, which is a product that allows you to add a layer to any page. This is a close to my heart product. I love these flip flaps, but this is a really nice big one. So when you flip this over, there you go. There's your lots and lots and lots of words. This is what makes an extended story so special, because you have room for words. So just a reminder to ask the people involved in your story. And I've got Taft's perspective throughout this story, and these conversations with him actually all happened over text message. So I'm lucky that Taft gives really good detailed answers. You might not get that much information, but definitely ask for other people's perspective. And that flip-flap, as you can see, is attached to a divided protector where there's 3x3 squares. And we've just mingled images. These images are actually from kind of a matching style game that my family, we played it and we didn't love it. So I'm using the pictures here with just some of Taft's favorite quotes, okay? Or quotes that Addie said, you gotta include the Dobby quote, Mom. But, quotes that are super popular and that we love. Before I turn that page, I want to show you that I left one of the 3x3 pockets empty, which is just see-through, and I attached kind of these two arrow shapes, and it points to this image, which really is the genesis of this particular story, and we'll get to that in a second. On the back, we just have additional images and quotes. I love that I asked Addie. I said, Addie, what do you think about Taft and Harry Potter? And she said, I love it when Taft reads HP to me. He goes into deep, deep detail and explains everything. He always tells me to stop him if I have questions. Taft is the best. So again, don't forget to get people involved in the story part of your story. This was the text I said to Taft. I said, how did you know it was going to be more than just another book? And he took me back to 3rd grade. I was able to find a picture of his 3rd grade teacher, and he talked to me about Mrs. Grooms and her placing that book on his desk and challenging him to read it, and he just falling in love. On the back of that vertical 4x6 memory protector, I've got a 2015 image of Taft reading on the couch, and then I've got the super current, we finally made it to Diagon Alley in 2022. This is another 6x6. I don't generally include 2, but I did this time just because this is a story that there's so many parts of it, and I love that. But this is just a handmade 4x4 accordion file. So it opens all the way up, or you can look at it, sort of pane by pane. But all of these pictures go together because of the journaling. And I talk about your obsession with all things Harry Potter has inspired gifts and bedroom decor, parties, and more. Because of you, your siblings have read Harry Potter. With your help and encouragement, even Addie was able to read all 7 books. So beginning with that first wand you purchased, which was Dumbledore's, and per request on your Christmas lists, you have slowly acquired quite an impressive set of collectibles. And then there are additional pictures on the back of that little accordion book. So I love that. That's just a fun way to include additional photos and words. On the back of that, I will tie that up later. On the back, here's a piece of memorabilia. I actually stitched the sleeve from a cup of butterbeer to the back to a 6x6 page. And then I have all these strips of paper. This is another way to add words to a layout. I haven't done it yet, and that's because I just barely texted Taft and asked him to send me his top 10 list from being in Florida. So he did, and I'm super excited to handwrite those on that strip. But I love that it's basically a decorative element, but it's also additional words. And that brings us to this Genesis. This is the foundation page of my extended story. My foundation pages are always 12 by 12. And this story is unique because I started with a page that I had already finished years ago. So this is his 10th birthday party. Harry Potter was really pretty new. So, we did garbage sacks and sticks from the yard, and, we hand cut our glasses. But this was the beginning of celebrating Harry Potter in our home. And then this is the final page here. And I'm going to replace this. I asked Taft to send me his favorite one-word spell, and he did, and it's not Protego. So I'm going to replace that. But I found in his school files, I found this little drawing that he had made of Harry Potter in like the 4th grade, I think. And then I just want to show you one additional way to include additional content, story, words, photos, whatever. I like to take just my circle punch and just punch a little notch in the page. And then in this case, I've slipped an early Christmas list that Taft created, which is primarily Harry Potter things he wants. And then this became quite the tradition that every year Taft creates a list, a very specific list with links and with instructions, and he posts it to the fridge, in early December. So I've got a later, more, fancier list. And then I've also got just this last bit of memorabilia, which is a map of Hogsmeade. So I want that to be included in this story as well. So I can just slip those things right down behind that page. And that is my extended story all about Taft's love for Harry Potter. I love this approach to telling longer stories. I love the format. I love how fun and interactive it feels, and I'm just grateful that you watched. Thank you.